What I've found in my ministry is if you don't ask, nothing happens. And so I want you to know that 2 churches, each have pledged $1,000 towards the roof. What I would love to see is that we have at least $7,500 come from gifts as a matching fund. And then I'm going to ask the board to some kind of way, find another $7,500 to go with that. And so if you have an interest in making a pledge today, right now, you can write it down on a piece of paper, hold your hand up, and we will collect that from you just as a pledge. You can put the amount if you want to, or contact me. I can say, because I talked to my board chair this morning, Unity of Richmond will pledge $500 towards that. Are there any other people who might like to make a commitment openly? I talked to Bruce last night, and he made a pledge also of $1,000. Is there another person? Yes. Thank you. Write that down somewhere, Lisa.
Unity Urban Ministerial School, $1,000.
Unity of Washington, D.C., $1,000.
Join.
Man Landon, $1,000.
Let's keep going.
Unity Church of the Hills, 1,000.
Yes.
We go back, I can write it down for Lisa.
Okay, let's go back and take it easy and just get those numbers. Joanne was $1,000. Let's see, Sylvia from Washington, D.C. was $1,000. There was somebody else over here. I have Bruce's already. Back in the back here. Yes? Your hands up. Joyce? Unity of Bon Air, $1,000. Elizabeth? $200 from Unity of Montclair. Barry?
Hey, Richard.
Where? How much? $1,000 from Unity of Las Vegas. Dana?
Renaissance Unity of Northeast Ohio, $1,000 upon approval of our board.
Well, we know what that means. Thank you, Lord.
Unity of Missouri, $500. If our board doesn't approve, I'll do it.
Thank you. All right.
Unity
Yes.
Church of the Hills, 1,000.
1,000 Unity of the Hills. Claire?
Unity San Diego, $1,000.
$1,000 from Unity San Diego.
400.
Livonia, 400. Thank you.
San Francisco.
200, right? Thank you. Tony?
Unity of Frederick, 500.
Thank you. Oh, she couldn't hear you.
Frederick, 500. Frederick, Maryland.
And so while we're on this, I'm Twyla Reese, while we're on this path, I am so curious as to what is happening to the Unity Ministries in Puerto Rico and elsewhere while we're
Thank
talking.
you. I cannot answer it right this second, but we will make sure somebody can do that in a while, okay? Thank you. Anybody else?
One more. Unity of Buffalo, 300.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, right in front here.
Unity of Springfield, Missouri, 500.
Thank you. Jane?
Unity Spiritual Center, San Angelo, 500.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unity of Syracuse and Memorial Champaign.
And how much is that even?
500.
$500. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Marge? Thank you. Thank you.
Unity of Rolla, Michigan, $300.
Thank you.
Unity Spiritual Center in Westlake, $250.
Thank you.
Unity of Carlsbad, San Diego, California, 500.
Thank you, Sharon.
Unity Center of Healing Light, $300.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Unity in the Heart of Austin, $250.
Can you hear that? Did you hear that? Say it again, please.
Unity in the Heart of Austin, $250.
Unity in the Heart of Austin, $250. Yes.
Unity of Citrus County, 500.
Yes. Thank you.
Unity of Rockport, Texas, 100.
Rockport, Texas, 150. Thank you. Let's keep the bidding going. Thank you. Yes. I'm sorry, can I hear it? Let's get a mic there. Thank you, Lou.
Unity of Richmond, East Bay, 250.
Yes.
Excuse me 1 second. There are baskets. That's with cash if you feel so inclined right now. Okay? So if you, there are baskets, just put your hand up. Baskets.
Thank you. Say that again, please.
What happened?
Did you get it? Thank you. We don't want to miss an opportunity. Yes. Seattle Unity, 500. Yes. Unity of Black Hills, how much?
200.
200, thank you. 1 second. Paul?
Is it possible that the whole bunch could be used in Puerto Rico?
Yeah. So overage, you know, this is for Nigeria, but this is part of what we need to do. We need to organize and get where these funds are needed, because there's Puerto Rico who was hit pretty hard recently. The Philippines have just been hit by a hard storm. So I'm looking at a beautiful bounty for Nigeria and building all these buildings, and I love seeing this enthusiasm. But I just want to state, we are here to organize this enthusiasm.
Yeah.
You know, we're standing here as a whole team of staff and council and board and membership to organize this enthusiasm and to build these ministries and to get these scholarships and to build our work in the world. So I just wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry, Jim. Was it Jim? $1,500 from UWH. Yeah, thank you. Okay. If anybody...
One more, hold on.
Oh, one more somewhere? Oh, there we go.
Awakening Awareness, $100.
Thank you. Okay, if you find you have an opportunity to give after this, you're welcome to do that, obviously. And you can do that by sending a check to UWM and allocating on the bottom what it is for, okay? In case you just don't have it today or you didn't offer today. Yes, Tim?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, and I don't want to stop all this wonderful bidding. I love this enthusiasm. This goes back to my Church of the Nazarene roots when we raised money. I love it. You know, I'm ready for a revival. Anyway, I would like to make a motion, if it's in order, that the IAC, the International Advisory Council, be put in charge of how to distribute the overage so that we can work with what needs there are in Puerto Rico or elsewhere so that we can determine the best way to spend that overage.
I think what would be proper, if it's okay, is that you would make a recommendation to the Board of Trustees that we do that, and I don't think it'll take a vote, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes,
Diane Sickler, Unity of Northeastern Pennsylvania. I just put my bid in the basket and it's passed on. My question is, we write the check to UWM or we give it to, where do we send the money?
Bruce, UWM? Will be the conduit, is that right, or what?
It would be fine to send it to UWM, and I will work with Lisa to get it into Nigeria where it belongs. Put it on the memo line, yes. Just like anything that's an earmarked or special gift, let us know and we'll make it happen.
All right.
Yes,
Mark Delgado from Unity on the Bay in Miami. I just had a question. I love the enthusiasm. I heard what Russell said about ministry stepping up and continuing to see how they tie to the movement. And my question is, why is the roof not just a request from the Help Unity Grow giving? There's already a fund of $200,000 for that. Individual churches are experiencing the enthusiasm of giving towards it, which is wonderful, and there's already a fund in place from UWM, and those funds that people are very enthusiastic about could go to UWM for maybe an international coordinator, for maybe those $300,000 that you had visions for. I'm just wondering if maybe we just don't know the process of requesting from Help Unity Grow. Maybe I don't know, and there's procedures and there's restrictions that I may not be aware of. So, just a question.
On a couple, and I think there were a couple of questions there. In regards to how to access funds, you can go online. There's an application. There are various restrictions on certain parts of the fund. It's not just all available to us to do anything. And so there are restrictions, and so we have to go through the HUG Fund administrators and team in order to allow gifts from the HUG Fund in the proper manner.
Would
Maybe
that be
helps.
for, I've heard roofing has been one of the things that they've given for.
Richard.
I don't know about
It's Bruce.
Thank you.
And I'm going to speak to the HUG Fund question to everyone. So the HUG Fund is made up of various parts. It originally came from an idea from a gift from a legacy that was $200,000 that could only be used for for loans. And so it's a perpetual program. So and we've already tested and found that in our only experience, trying to create a loan in a foreign country didn't work. And gifts or grants are part of the HUG Fund. They're part of the giving policy, but they come from an emergency need. And what we define as emergency need is that Mother Nature did something unexpectedly, and we will grant up to $5,000 to any community if we have the funds to support their getting back together, getting back on ground. So that's the difference between a grant, which this would be a gift, a grant, and a loan, which has to be set up because of the original dollars. And then the board gives to the fund every month so that it, again, is self-perpetual. And this year we gave away $16,000 plus in grants, and we currently have $164,000 that is loaned. So part of that number that's up there is not available because it's already in use. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to call Paula first because you've spoken, and then we'll come back and open you too. Paula, go ahead, Paula.
Thank you, Richard. Reverend Paula McDeasy. I just wanted to make the request that for all of us who have given, could we receive an email, Lisa or Lois or someone, just send us back an email with a description of what exactly we're giving to, because I'd like to be able to share that to my congregation and let people know the good thing we're contributing to, and perhaps they'll want to contribute as well. And for that group that's going to organize to figure out what to do with the overage and that sort of thing, I would really like to be continually informed about things like this, particularly with Puerto Rico when we wanted to do something, but it seems so difficult to figure out where to send contributions. So kind of get that pipeline going for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lisa, I'm sure you took that down. Okay. Wait a minute. Over here, Kathy.
Good morning. I am Reverend Esther Mantilla. I am the National School Director and the Minister of the largest Unity and oldest Hispanic Unity Church in Puerto Rico. I would like to say thank you to everybody that has been thinking about us. And thank you to all those churches and people that sent money to our churches in order to help many churches that have been very severe damage. We are working in the way that after Maria, everything changed. But our churches are doing well in the way they can do. As you see, everything changed. our services changes, our, daily work change, but we are, happy in the way that everybody prayed for us and with us. Thank you very much.
This is just a point of organization. For the memo, if Nigeria is put there, it will go to Nigeria. And this is where we want $15,000 and plus perhaps to go, okay? So we need to, if there's something in the memo, it needs to be something more general if we're going to distribute the funds, as I heard was the desire, once there is an overage for Nigeria. So something like international support or something to that effect, that does say this is what this is for, but I want to see that Nigeria gets plenty, or we want to see that, and that others are able to benefit as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's give a, wait, Richard, let's give a name then. Is it going to be international support or?
Bruce, give us a name. What do you want on the memo?
So that you can control overage.
International ministry support.
International ministry support. International ministry support. And I'm sure that'll be in the past real soon.
Reverend Edith Washington Woods, Unity of Syracuse in Syracuse, New York. So as we were having this bounty that we're giving out of our heart, it seemed pretty obvious to me, and maybe to some of you, that we've already met that 15,000. And then us saying, well, let's give the overage to Puerto Rico. I would say, not say overage, but perhaps we complete with the 15,000 and then have a separate for Puerto Rico. And here's why I'm saying that. I was just in Puerto Rico a couple of months ago, and I spent a full day with Reverend Norma Iris Rosado. You guys, all of us know her. And her church in particular, Unity de Caguas, they were hit pretty hard, like most of the Unity churches there. Some of the Unity churches don't even have a building anymore. And what Norma told me is the insurance companies down there, they have not paid them yet. So they're getting, their buildings up and running piece by piece with the love offerings that are coming in and whatnot. And I would love to see, especially with Puerto Rico, for us to have a separate bounty of money to go there.
Okay. Thank you. If you would put that in a letter to the board, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay?
Which is the last one here?
Yes, this is the last one.
Thank you very much. I'm Edwin Gaines at Rockridge Retreat Center in Valley Head, Alabama. And when Bubba Bruce was speaking, well, first of all, let me tell you, I am so excited about what's going on here right now. You realize that? Holy moly. We just did the loaves and fishes routine all over again. Is that not fabulous? So when my Bubba Bruce here was speaking, earlier when we were talking about budget, he said something that piqued my interest and I wanted him to go more into it. He said it would cost us about 350 million. Thousand. It's just a question of zeros. We would do the things we really want to do. Here's what I know as a prosperity teacher. People will give to a vision. They will not give to pay the light bill. So tell us what you want to do. We got the money, honey.
Big numbers. 350 million is just fine, okay? So thank you for pouring your hearts out, for opening your pocketbooks, and I will assure you that we will use these funds in the appropriate manner. The only other thing I want to remind you, which Bruce said, is that the board set aside 20 grants of $5,000 each when the hurricanes hit. which included Puerto Rico and other churches. So just know that that money might still be available. I don't know how much, but there's still available there, money, and you can see Bruce about that. Thank you so much. Now we're going to get back in order because Jim's getting really nervous up here. Not really, but anyway, to keep us on track. And now, with that, we're now on track. See divine order. At this time, it's my privilege to give somewhat of a report, and I say that because one of the things I recognize